Have you ever wondered why some families never seem to run out of money? Why the names Rockefeller, Rothschild, or Walton stay on the list of the wealthiest people in the world generation after generation, while most of us work paycheck to paycheck? What is it that the rich know, that the average person doesn't? The truth is, wealthy people don't just earn money once and spend it. They build systems that allow them to get paid forever, even long after they've stopped working, or even after they've passed away. And the best part? These strategies aren't only for billionaires. Anyone who understands the principles can begin applying them. Let's break down how the rich make their money last for lifetimes. The conventional path to financial security is a well-trodden one. Trade your precious time for a steady paycheck. For 40 hours a week, you are the engine of your income. But there's a fundamental flaw. Your earning potential is capped by the hours in a day. The truly wealthy understand this and have flipped the script. They don't work for money. They acquire assets that work for them, generating income around the clock. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket without you actively working for it. This is the first and most crucial strategy for building lasting wealth. Take real estate, a classic example. Imagine you own a 20-unit apartment building. You don't have to be there collecting checks. A property management company handles the day-to-day. Yet every single month, 20 different households deposit rent into your account. This isn't a single paycheck. It's a powerful, consistent river of cash flow. A portion of that river pays for the mortgage, property taxes, and maintenance. But here's the magic. Your tenants are systematically paying down your debt, building your equity for you. The money left over is pure, passive profit. This illustrates the critical mindset shift. The wealthy aren't just focused on how big their salary is, they're obsessed with how strong and reliable their cash flow is from the assets they own. This principle isn't limited to apartments. Consider a brand everyone knows, McDonald's. You think they're in the business of selling burgers, but that's only the surface. In reality, McDonald's is one of the largest real estate companies on the planet. Founder Ray Kroc's genius, guided by his finance wizard Harry Sonborn, was realizing the real money wasn't in the food, but in the land under the golden arches. The corporation buys prime real estate and then leases it to franchise owners. So, on top of royalties from food sales, they collect a steady, reliable stream of rent. This is the ultimate asset, a business model where the real estate generates income on autopilot, creating a financial fortress. It's a masterclass in turning a service business into a cash-flowing asset empire. Our second strategy is a game changer, building business systems. Wealthy people don't just work businesses, they own them. This is a fundamental mindset shift. Instead of trading their time directly for money, they build assets that generate income independently. They transition from being the primary doer of every task to becoming the architect of a self-sustaining system. Take Jeff Bezos. He isn't personally packing boxes. He architected a colossal system, a symphony of technology, global logistics, and millions of employees that generates billions while he sleeps. But this principle isn't just for titans. Consider the founder of a local bakery who systematized her recipes and supply chain, allowing her to open multiple locations without being physically present in every one. She built a system, not just a job. So how can you apply this? It starts small. Launch an e-commerce store using dropshipping to handle inventory. Or package your expertise into a digital course that sells 24/7. The key is to relentlessly automate. Use software for marketing and customer service. As revenue grows, start delegating by hiring a virtual assistant or freelancer to manage tasks, freeing you up to focus on growth, not just daily operations. Ultimately, the goal is to transform your business from a demanding job into a pipeline of cash flow. Unlike a salary that stops when you clock out, a well-built business system is an asset that continues to pay you, creating true financial independence and wealth. Here's another secret. The rich don't just rely on one income stream, they diversify. Dividend stocks, companies like Coca-Cola or Johnson & Johnson pay shareholders a portion of profits every quarter. Imagine getting paid just for owning a piece of a successful company. Index funds. Warren Buffett famously recommends them. They allow investors to profit from the overall growth of the market without picking individual stocks. Compound interest. Over time, reinvested dividends and interest turn small investments into massive generational wealth. Getting rich is one thing. Staying rich for generations is another. This is where estate planning comes in. Wealthy families use trust funds, life insurance policies, and foundations to make sure their wealth is preserved, taxed less, and passed down efficiently. That's why you see heirs who continue to live lavishly decades later. It's not luck, it's planning. Example: the Rockefeller family set up trusts and investments that still provide income to their descendants more than 100 years later. Here's a mindset shift. The rich rarely pay for everything with their own money. They use leverage. Banks fund their real estate projects. Investors help scale their businesses. Tax laws allow them to borrow against their wealth instead of selling it, meaning they pay less in taxes. In simple terms, they play the game differently. While most people see debt as a burden, the rich use good debt as a tool to expand their wealth without emptying their own pockets. The average person has one income source, a job. The rich have multiple. Real estate, stocks, businesses, royalties, intellectual property, you name it. This way, even if one source slows down, the others keep flowing. Think of it like having multiple faucets in your financial house. If one turns off, you're still getting water from the others. So, what's the ultimate secret to getting paid forever? It's one foundational principle: acquire assets and avoid liabilities. An asset, like a dividend-paying stock, puts money in your pocket. A liability, like a car loan, only takes it out. This simple distinction is the starting line for creating wealth. They understand a job provides linear income, trading time for money, so they build businesses instead. A business is a scalable system that generates revenue even when you're not actively working. It's the difference between being a cog in a machine and owning the entire machine. Next, they make their money work for them. They invest for consistent cash flow from things like dividends, creating a reliable income stream. They also unleash the power of compound growth, where your returns earn their own returns, creating an unstoppable snowball of wealth over time. Their vision also extends beyond their own lifetime. They plan for generations. This isn't just about leaving an inheritance. It's about building a legacy. They establish trusts and instill financial literacy in their children, ensuring the mindset and systems are passed down to preserve and grow that wealth. But this path isn't exclusive. Anyone can start small. That first step could be investing $50 into an index fund, registering a domain for a side business, or saving for a rental property. The size of the step is less important than the direction it takes you, towards ownership and financial independence. It all comes down to a shift in perspective. Most people focus on earning a living. The wealthy focus on building a life where their assets do the earning for them. They don't just think about getting rich, they architect systems to rich and get paid forever. That is the ultimate difference. What's the first step you'll take? Let us know in the comments. If you found this valuable, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video on building your financial future.